Back at it again, so you guys, Spencer, you know what time it is. It's time for the top 100 football players, East Texas football players from 2025. This is the sixth annual, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, so 6 times we've done this list. New fans coming into the page, not knowing what's going on. Let me give you the breakdown of how we get to this top 100. So what we do is, I can't just take every football player that plays football in East Texas. There's way too many kids. Like I said, I've got 76 schools this year on the East Texas list database this year. So I can't take everybody that plays football. So you had to either be a superlative, which is district MVP, offensive newcomer of the year, defensive newcomer of the year, offensive MVP, defensive MVP. Had to be one of those guys, specialists, yada, yada, yada. All of those awards that they give out, D-Lineman of the Year, All-Lineman of the Year, all the many awards they give out in district this year, these days. That or a first-team all-district selection. So everybody that you've seen on the page for the last week or so, especially with the Spencer Cole, all East Texas teams, they all had to be a superlative or a first-team all-district guy. So if you didn't make that, then you're not on the cut. Then you got to have a highlight tape. So you've got to be able to, you got to put a highlight tape out for me to judge. I can't just go off of what everybody says. I'm not doing that. So put your film out. I evaluate your film, give you a number grade. I think the lowest this year was a 77 I gave out. And then the highest obviously was a 99. And we'll find out in the upcoming weeks of who that person was. But yeah, the top 100 East Texas football players, that's another list. Top 100 East Texas players of 2025. With no further ado, let's get through 100 through 91. At number 100, a junior offensive tackle from Longview, Texas, Jaden Jackson. And Jaden Jackson starts this top 100 list off an incredible year individually, even though Longview took some steps back. This is by far, I think this may have been the worst record Kings ever had at 7-5 this year. Not too many logos even on the list this year, but this still is a 6A school in East Texas and traditionally one of the toughest schools, so you know they're bound to produce some type of talent. And this time, this list starts off with Jaden Jackson, 6'2", about 260 pounds, left tackle for Longview. Moving on, future prospects, he's probably an interior lineman because he doesn't have that great length and height outside. But as far as the high school level goes, this dude is as talented as any offensive lineman you'll find. Great technique, great strength, great mobile ability, being able to move up and down the line of scrimmage, move his feet well, great pass protection, great pad level in this pass protection. You can tell the game means a lot to him. He is a guy that will get after you. If he finds a victim, he's going to make sure they know they're a victim. As you can see on the tape, he's mean. He's got that aggression to him. And this is a guy that's a 2-year starter. Last year was the lone sophomore starter amongst 4 seniors. And so he got a chance to be a part of something special going into the 5th round. This year, the lone guy coming back, with, of course, Becky played a little bit too. But for a group and an offense that really struggled to find their identity running the football this year, this is because of Jaden Jackson. So hopefully Jackson and the Lobos can get it figured out going into the next year. But leading off our list at number 100, Jaden Jackson, Jr., Longview. At number 99, we have the junior cornerback from Athens, Texas, Jacobe Wilson. And Wilson is a competitive type dude. You can tell he's competitive just by the types of plays that he makes. The first interception did a great job of bursting away from the ball, coming back, catching it and high-pointing it. This second one against Carthage, he does a good job of playing possum, hiding from Surratt, and then pops up out of nowhere to catch this interception. Even this third highlight tape just showing the fact that he can run, and he's never willing to stop on the play, making this one tackle at the 1-yard line. Wilson's competitiveness, his hit power, his ability to cover, his ability to catch the ball and then make interceptions really stood out on tape. I thought he was a physical presence for Athens this year, as he made several plays, being competitive, breaking up balls in the end zone, laying the hat on people whenever it was time to lay a hat in the run game. And then just being a consistent competitor, not fooled by much on the double move there. You see him breaking up a pass, doing a great job. I just think he's a great corner. Had a really good junior season. I'm very, very interested in seeing what he could bring back for his senior year. But at number 99, the junior corner from Athens, Texas, Jacobe Wilson. At number 98, a junior from Pleasant Grove High School. He's a receiver and a corner, and his name is Javon Butler. And right away from the jump, you can tell that this dude is explosive, taking this opening kickback all the way back to the crib. He's a guy that's electric with the ball in his hands. He can make a play when he has it in his hands. Here you see him playing corner against Gilmer. He's going to do a good job of engaging with the receiver, swatting the ball out of his hands so he cannot complete the easy catch right there on the slant. That should be easy. Here he is playing wildcat quarterback. Got a guy in motion. He's going to run power back right up the middle. Woo! Puts a video game combination wrong right there. A juke and a spin right there in combination. Does a great job of making a play there for the Grove. Here he is playing cornerback against Van, against the screen. Great job coming up and laying the wood. I think that's a live ball too. Might even force the fumble there. Not quite sure. Here he is playing corner. Not quite sure who the opponent is on this one. Drives on the out route, breaks on the ball, does a great job of being there and being disruptive in the pass game. Here he is again playing corner, I think this time against Kilgore. And here he is lined up, attacking the quick screen, getting by the receiver really, really fast and making the big play there on a guy that you might even see on this list a little later. Butler is hella competitive, just like everybody else in Pleasant Grove and how they have been with Coach Gibson for the last, I don't know how many years, since 2016 or whatever he showed up. These kids believe and buy in, and this guy has a special skill talent. Reminds me a lot of Sergio Rodriguez, I believe. That was a corner who wore number 1 a while back. Very slippery, very elusive, very good football player from Pleasant Grove, and he's a junior, so he's coming back. And so at the list here at number 98, cornerback, wide receiver, wildcat, athlete, Javon Butler. 97, a senior from Pleasant Grove in the defensive backfield is the safety, Seth Gunlack. And this dude here just makes plays. And that's just the marker of being a Pleasant Grove Hawk, I guess. You just got to be able to make plays. Here's the first one, who's a pick six. He takes a gift, and if you're going to give me gifts, I'm going to take them every time. Here he is rolling the backfield, comes up again, another great interception. Not only does he catch it, but he finds a way to get north with the football to the windows, to the wall. That's another pick six there for Gunlack. Here he is against Kilgore. Patient, dropping back, sees the run, comes up, boom, puts it right on the running back. Great hit in the hole there. So a guy that's physical, a guy that's willing to compete and come up and make plays. Here he is in man coverage, does a good job of sticking with the receiver, comes up, breaks on the ball, catches another interception. There's nothing more valuable as a defensive back than getting your hands on the football and ending possessions, and that's a great way to score high for me. Here's Gunlack here against Gilmer. He's in the flats. He's responsible for the back, comes down, easy open field tackle. Not easy to make, but he makes it look really swell. Here he is against, I believe this is maybe Brownsboro, I believe. They throw up a gift, and just like Christmas, we'll accept them. Great interception there on that play. I think we're at 5 at this point. I don't know how many picks he had on the year. I don't have his stats right up in front of me. Another great, oh my goodness, finds another way to get his hands on the football there again. Like I said, these guys at Pleasant Grove, they played their butts off each and every week. They get the absolute most out of their kids. And Seth Gunlack is another guy. Like I said, you won't see him on a recruiting page as he makes this hell of a play against Carthage in the end zone there. You won't see him on the recruiting side. He's not going to be a guy that's going to pop up on Rivals or anything like that. But if you watch football, you'll know who Seth Gunlack is. Coming in at number 97, the senior from Pleasant Grove, Seth Gunlack. At number 96, we've got a seniors from Athens, Texas, and this is Julius Brewer. Brewer impacted the game in a multitude of ways. He had about 400 rushing yards from a wide receiver position, and then had over 1,000 receiving yards. And then, as you see on this opening kick, taking it from the window to the wall, taking it all the way back to the crib there in the playoffs. Great. He's a great athlete. He's a guy that's very hard to tackle. Great ball carrier vision, very elusive. And then the biggest thing about it, he knows how to get the ball from point A to point B. He doesn't do too much wiggling. If he's got an opportunity to run straight, he's going to run straight. He's going to do everything he can to punch it into the end zone. Here you see him using them in the tactics here with the reverse. Does a great job of cutting back on this one, making a couple of people miss and getting all the way into the end zone there. That was a great play there. And once again, this is a playoff type atmosphere. In this game, here he is on the flats. They throw it to him, they fake it to him, then they throw it to him. This is against Gilmer in the first round, and they just can't. They can catch him, but they can't tackle him all the way into the end zone there. Brewer made a slew of plays, and this Athens offense is by far one of the better offenses in East Texas. Definitely caught a lot of people, including me, by surprise. David Richardson, the senior quarterback, had a hell of a year, but the reason why you can have hell of a year is when you've got receivers that can get behind DBs and make catches like that. Brewer made those kind of catches all year long, double moves, running by people. He was a very, very good football player. I had him ranked as a 93 overall, and here he comes in on the list at number 96 as he tops one in the end zone. At number 96, the wide receiver, the senior from Athens, Julius Brewer. At number 95, a senior middle linebacker from Mount Pleasant, Texas, it is Ashad Smith. Smith graded out last year as an 89. This year I gave him for 4-point overall boost to a 93. And he comes in here on the list at number 95. And as you can see, this guy is not afraid to mix it up. He comes downhill in a gap. He is looking to punish runners every single time that he gets to him. He does a really good job of getting people down on the ground. Obviously, it's a highlight tape, so you're only going to show your best plays. But what you see in this guy is he's a short tackler. It's not the biggest boomer that you'll see on this list. He's not going to necessarily just knock guys backwards every single time. But you can tell the way that he gets to the ball carrier, so wraps his arms around the running back, that he is there and he is going to secure way more tackles than he misses trying to go in there and drop his head. I think this year he just did a great job of, especially on tape, just dominating from C-gap to C-gap. He does a really good job on the inside run. He doesn't get thrown away by too many things. If he sees a window and opening, he's reading that offensive line. He's seeing that back, and he is filling those holes and making great plays. You see him here. Not really a coverage guy. Not too many things. Not gonna see him go backwards too many times and make a lot of plays. But he will get in the mix. As you see him here against Marshall, he knows what they're gonna do. Gonna fill it in, and there he is on the blitz, taking control of a very, very elusive quarterback in Alton Henderson and gets him down to the ground. Ashad Smith was a part of a very tenacious Mount Pleasant defense this year. Ashad Smith, and there are several others that you will hear from on this list from this defense this year. Him and his sophomore linebacker counterpart, which I just forget his name from time to time. They had a very good front seven up front, and this was a very difficult district to play in. Week in and week out, Marshall, T-High, Hallsville, Mount Pleasant, and so on and so forth, who all still in that district. So here at number 95, senior linebacker from Mount Pleasant, Ashad Smith. At number 94, a senior safety / wide receiver from Edgewood, Texas, it is Tony Smith. And Tony Smith, right away, you can see this dude shouldn't have been on the 3A field. This dude can play, man. He can absolutely cover ground, does a great job of stretching out, reaching out. He has a very long frame at 6'2", 6'3", and he's going to use all of it to try to go get every single pass. As you see him high point this interception there against, I think that was against Arp. Here he is on the edge, outside wide against Grant Saline. Does a great job. That's a hell of a throw, too. We'll talk about that guy later. But, man, he just lays it out in the breadbasket form. He does a great job of just going up and getting. Here he is in the end zone. Another great catch, keeping the feet in bound, very aware about where he's at on the field. Not a lot of competition there from the DB, but that's a great concentration catch there. Here he is on defense, coming up, making a great tackle, running down and running back in the back of the behind the line of scrimmage. Here he is on the line of scrimmage, one-on-one, slant and go. And it's easy work. It's an accurate ball, and it's another touchdown for Tony Smith. Tony was a baller, man. Some of those plays that he makes, it's just him being better than the people that's out there on the field. Like this inside zone run that he runs and just in and out weaves through the defense. And at this level, he's really one of the best safeties you can have. He is going to take care of the back end. If you throw it up, he will catch it. He's a willing and able tackler as well. As you see him on defense, he will come up and make touchdowns. I mean, make great stops there at the line of scrimmage if asked for him. He did a really good job on the fade ball this year, allowing the ball to let him fade out. Like I said, when you got a quarterback this accurate, it's easy to make plays. And Tony Smith had the perfect combination: great athleticism, great ball skills, great competitiveness with the ball in the air. And then he kind of had a really good quarterback throwing it to him as well. At number 94, senior safety / wide receiver from Edgewood, Tony Smith. At number 93, a running back / linebacker from Dangerfield, Texas, it is Ashton Williams. And this dude has almost made the list the last 3 years. As you can see here, the senior year, there is no doubt. What a great play that was against center in coverage, going up, high pointing the ball, and turning the ball over. Here he is against Hooks, absolutely knocking the snot out of the nose of this Hornet here, knocking the football way into the end zone for a touchdown for the Tigers. Here he is against Arp, against one of the better running backs in East Texas, making a solid tackle there against Josh Smith. Here he is against D-Cab, coming up and laying that running back way back in the backfield. He was a running back mainly coming into this year. This is the first year where we've seen defensive snaps and a bunch of them, where he's been the guy starting at linebacker. I think he is. I think he's fast to the football. I think he does a great job of exploding through blocks. And that's the biggest deal, his athleticism. I mean, there's been some great linebackers to come through Dangerfield, but I think what puts him among the best of them, not calling him the best, but among the best of them, is his athleticism, his way of battling through a blocker. And when he meets a ball carrier, and there are some really good running backs on this playlist, Jeremy Bluford, Josh Smith, that he can handle one-on-one. Here he is against Zane Bork. Does a great job of tackling a great athlete in open space. He's really good at that. He's a really good athlete. And you can tell he's got some running back in him that bursts, the way he can just get through holes. It looks like he should have the ball in his hands doing this sometimes as well. But, you know, a lot of guys, and I love seeing those guys get to where 0. If you're putting on 0 or 1, you've got to be that dude. And based off this highlight tape, Ashton Williams was one of those guys and dudes for Dangerfield this year. Very good football player, comes up here on the list at number 93, I think. 93, maybe 92, I think 93. Ashton Williams of Dangerfield. At number 92, a junior from Pine Tree. It's a safety / wide receiver, and it's Boston Johnson. Boston Johnson just made plays all year long for the Pirates. This dude was just all over the place. He made several interceptions, a punt return for a touchdown, which you'll see later against Yates, which changed the entire landscape of that second round playoff game. A lot of people had Yates picked in that game to beat Pine Tree, and he makes one of the best plays in there, turned that punt back to the house. Not only is he that on defense, he's a great cover guy. He's a guy that can catch the football. Had 3 interceptions this year. But on offense, he had 1,000 yards worth of receptions this year. Just a guy that just continuously makes plays. Here he is in the playoffs against Crawford, catching that slant up the middle and then takes it all the way. Now, what keeps him from being this 96, 97 in the top 40, top 30 type list is the athleticism. He does not have top-notch athleticism, but the plays that he makes are top-notch. More so just like high-pointing the ball, picking the ball off, catching the ball, breaking a tackle, going their way. He is a very, very, very good football player, and he pops up here on the list at number 92. A guy that I can't wait to see after a year of an off season, a year to get bigger, stronger, faster. What he turns into his senior year. He's already a fantastic player, but now he's talking about maybe one of East Texas' all-time greats if he can put the athleticism with the playmaking and skills. Nonetheless, not dumping on the guy as a very good football player. Comes up here on the list at number 92 from Pine Tree Jr., Boston Johnson. And at number 91, senior from Marshall, Texas, outside linebacker / DN, he is Devon Tucker. And let me tell you something, this first play that this boy made right here, I almost put him number 1 on the damn list. What a great job of getting in the mix of that ball, seeing that he's still struggling with it and ripping it out of his hands with one hand and then taking it back the other way. Now, what's his normal position? Defense end, as you see him beat up a tackle there and get straight to the quarterback. One of 9 sacks that he had this year for the Mavericks. You just see him. It's ball get off. It's great length. It's great size. It's great strength to be able to hold on to that tackle. Not only be able to hold on to it, but force a fumble on it as well. Here he is against Mount Pleasant. running down, just throwing the running back and then finishing the sack that was started by another player. Here he is against White House, untouched over here. Great job of making a great play at the line of scrimmage and not allowing the back to get further down the field. While he looks skinny and looks really lean, he has a lot of strength to him, can wrap up players, does a job of forcing another fumble here. He is just a magnet to the football and a guy that can make a lot of plays and doesn't need a lot of room. It's that instant burst, that initial, like it's out of nowhere. I'm blocked and then I'm not. He's really good. He's really lean. I'm very interested in seeing where he goes. What a shot he gave to Tyler running back there on the sideline. Very, very promising prospect. With his hand in the ground, don't know. It could obviously, you see his frame. You can add a bunch of weight to that and still keep a lot of speed and explosiveness. And that, like I said, his sudden quickness, his sudden explosion is what makes him a really good football player. As you see him break up the screen here. Here he is against Longview, chasing down the running back from the backside. Like, you're going to need a guy for that. Or pull the ball quarterback, one of the two. But either way, here is at number 91, the senior defensive end, outside linebacker from Marshall, Texas, Devon Tucker.